I was interested to hear how much he protected Randy Lerner, because I imagine Randy Lerner must have been so grateful for that protection with the 29% win record that Paul Lambert had for him. That must have been the kind of protection that Randy Lerner didn't want.
Yeah, but Lerner made mistakes, Simon.
Well,
of that, there's no doubt.
Everybody makes mistakes, and what you employ managers to do is not to compound those mistakes.
So why is Evans not saying this and Paul Lambert is?
Well, you have to ask the question why Paul Lambert isn't saying it to Marcus Evans, and why Paul Lambert, who's been there for 2.5 years, doesn't have the pull to be able to get basic fundamental communication in place with ideals behind how you sit around a table. And with due respect to Paul Lambert, if the teams above them like Doncaster, Oxford, Accrington Stanley and Plymouth hardly have bigger playing budgets or bigger opportunities than Ipswich do, you look at it and say, with due respect to Paul, he must interview really, really well. He must interview really well when chairman interview him, because I've listened to him in the media, and with the greatest respect in the world, he puts my feet to sleep. I look at his performances amongst the clubs that he's managed, and I don't think, besides the Norwich job, he's done a particularly inspiring job. Look at
Simon, he knows the game inside out.
That's irrelevant. Lots of people know the game inside out.
It's irrelevant? He's in the industry of football.
And the accusation goes around endlessly about the merry-go-round of managers that don't actually cut it but keep on getting jobs. You go into Stoke, you get a 13% win record. There's only one person or two people that have got a worse win record at Aston Villa. One of them's Remy Gard, and the other one is Tim Sherwood. Even Steve Bruce, who they unilaterally loathed, has got a better win record at Aston Villa.
But the decline at Ipswich began long before Paul Lambert.
That's also true. And the Ipswich fans... Trevor makes a point, which in an ideal world is right, which is keep the fans informed about the nature of the finances. Fans don't want to be informed about the nature of the finances. The fans want endless commitment from an owner to keep on funding and funding and funding.
Well, they certainly want to hear from the owner.
And also, by the same token, they would like to, I would understand, have a relationship with their owner. I don't know how much Marcus does and doesn't communicate. Well,
he doesn't, does he? Where is he?
I don't know. You're pinning it to this particular moment.
You said yourself he doesn't speak to the media.
Well, no, you said that, and I didn't disagree with it.
You said it yesterday.
No, I didn't disagree with it. The point is I don't know how much. I've not followed Ipswich Town. They're not on my to-do list of following. But Marcus has been there for 13, 14 years. I don't know how many times he's spoken to the media, how many times he writes in programmes, how many times he turns up to fan forums, and neither do you. But what we do know is that Ipswich are in League One, a side that had, as Paul quite rightly says, as Trevor referred to, had Brazil, Tyson, Muir, Paul Mariner, Trevor Wiremark, Eric Gates, won the UEFA Cup, were a dominant side under Bobby Robson with beautiful football, are now sitting in League One. And they're sitting in League One because they dropped out of the Premier League, because they've had change of ownership. David Sheepshanks, once upon a time, was an inspirational leader that got them into the Premier League, that got them into Europe. The wheels came off. They had Mick McCarthy. They didn't want Mick McCarthy because of the style of football. And I do think that it's a little bit limp-wristed and lightweight for Paul Lambert to come on and say, after being at a football club for 2.5 years, I have to use you, Jim White, to impart a message about the fact I haven't got a round-table discussion with my owner.
He's not using us at all.
What are you doing?
He's putting it out there. We could do with a bit of dialogue here.
Well, if you can't sell it, if you can't sell that to your owner, when you've got an owner that you've worked with for 2.5 years, if you can't get the basic fundamental structure of you've got to have a communication chain, what precisely are you doing?